Hello and welcome back to another video dust tutorial, and in this one we're going to cover the effect called waveforms. So what is waveforms? Well, it gives you 4 separate layers of audio generated waveforms. And if we go up to the desktop interface here, let me get some audio going, bring in the effect. And up here in the top left we have a 2D 3D switch, which switches between a 2D or 3D environment. Below that we have a cam and a white switch. That white switch essentially gives you a solid color that you can use to create your own generative content, which we're going to cover in another tutorial more extensively. And then we have the smear slider, and we have your overall volume input. So in the edit waveforms button here, if we click that, it opens up more elements within the software, and you've got 4 layers, which we currently have layer 2 turned on. So we're just going to start in layer 2 and go over the basics. So on the very top you have your EQ setting. So if I choose, say, a resonant and hit solo, so with each layer you can pick your individual frequencies. And then below that you have your render mode. You have render, grid, and points. So if we choose points, this point size here is related to that. So if we change that, you're adjusting the size of the points in the image. And if we choose grid, your line size adjusts these sizes. Let's go back to render. Okay, so the sample selector is how many samples to use of the waveform. And the speed is at which sets the speed at which it travels through the waveform. So as you can see, if I slow that down and speed it up, and the resolution, this res stands for resolution, and that is the actual resolution of the waveform. And it's easy to see if we choose grid, and if I bring that resolution down, and let me turn the line size down here. If I bring the resolution down and increase it. The amp is the amplitude of the waveform, and decay is the amount of decay to add. So at 0, as you can see, it just travels straight through. Put render back on and add a bit of decay. And the split mode splits the image through the horizontal center and wraps it around the waveform. As you can, it's almost like a masking mode. So over here on the left we have your positionings for the X, Y, and Z. And then below that we have your RGB and your main mix here, your alpha, and your different blend modes. And your X and Y scale here. And your rotations, so X, Y, and Z. Let me 0 that. And then next to your blend modes you have a circular setting, which turns your waveform into a circle. So if I turn that on here and I go back out, and it's easier to see if we give it just a solid color. And bring that amp down. Make that 3D or 2D so you can see what that's doing there. Okay, so next we'll go over some presets we've set up and see what it's doing. Okay, so we've set up a few presets here to have a look at. So if we open the edit waveforms, we have 4 layers currently active. So if I shut off a few of these, we have layer 4 on, which is a green color with a bit of a Z rotation pushed in the upper right corner. Layer 3 is blue pushed to the bottom left corner with the same Z rotation. And layer 2 is a waveform, a red waveform with an additive blend. And layer 1, which is the same waveform, and it has, this is only in layer 1, it has the smear button turned off, which is why you can see a clear signal coming through. And also on layer 1 you have a sync button here, and when that is active, it applies this EQ to all 4 layers. Okay, another preset, say preset 4. Let's go back into the edit waveforms again, and we'll turn off, let's see, layer 4 is a vertical, layer 3 is a vertical, and then you have this bright red element is layer 2. So turn that off, and now we just have a layer 1, and the smear is turned off, so we get a nice clean image coming through. And if I turn these back on and just show you what sort of this cam solid button does. So as you can see, you can then go in and change all these colors, which is really cool when building your own content. Okay, we have another preset here. Let's open the edit waveforms, and it's 4 different colored bands, each one positioned with the X position slider. And if we turn some of these off, you can see, so this is the green layer, and all of them have additive blends. So let's bring some of these back on. So if I was to move the green layer into the blue and knock some of its mix down, you can see the additive blend. And if I move the X and Y, give it a bit of distance, you can see as we rotate this globally what these waveforms are doing. This one is using white instead of the camera input. And that's waveforms. Thanks for watching.